25% of the team's rebounding. Just about to get underway here inside the Pitt, and the tip is controlled by the Louisville Cardinals in the Florida transfer, Nina Ricards. Pitt opening up in that zone, Jasmine.
Yeah, and I expect Louisville to try to get a really good look inside, and no surprise that they go to Olivia Cochran to get them on the board. She's shooting it well from around that 15 to 17 feet this season.
A little full court pressure here after Cochran gets Louisville on the board first.
And they turn around and they start with that full court pressure, try to speed up this Pitt Panther team.
Aislinn Malcolm will try for three in the corner. She misses.
Sophomore Aislinn Malcolm coming off a very good three-point shooting game against Georgia Tech. She's been hot as of late, so that could be someone that can help Leah King.
Quick start for Louisville here. Sydney Taylor buries a three. Little reunion here. Sydney Taylor playing against her former coach, Tori Verdi, who was in his first season at Pitt. Both, of course, spent significant time at UMass.
And I know what that's like playing for a former coach. You know, it brings that extra motivation, that energy, that, you know, that bounce. You definitely want to play well against your former coach.
So 5-0 start for Louisville. Get it down low. That's Nyla Harris on the reverse. No good. And a rebound from Leah King. Erin Battle, the freshman, getting a start as well. Marley Washenitz took too many steps there and turns it over. That's something Louisville's been doing to teams pretty much all season long, is forcing turnovers. They forced 27 turnovers against Duke a couple days ago.
And, you know, their pressure can kind of get you to play fast. And, you know, Marley Washenitz, that's something that she kind of has been challenged to do, is just not get sped up.
Cochran gets it back, fading away this time. Olivia Cochran shooting at over 52% from the floor. She's having a career year.
She is, and that's a nice little smooth turnaround.
Gabby Hutcherson double team, kick out. Washenitz, her three, misses it all. And ball back to Louisville.
Olivia Cochran getting it in that mid post and just turn around, fade away jumper off the one leg. A nice smooth move right there. Good shot for her. You saw Washenitz miss that three with King down low. You know, every game she's getting double team, triple team. So those three-point looks are going to be open.
Louisville is attacking that ACC logo right now, Jasmine.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, a soft spot in a 2-3 zone. And while they're having success with it, they should keep going.
Scrum for the ball here. I believe Hutcherson was the last to touch it. Will be Louisville basketball. And a 9-0 start. This has been a bit of a problem for Pitt, is starting slow. They started slow against Notre Dame. I believe they were down at 20 at one point in the first quarter. And then, you know, we were able to come back and push it and end up losing by 5. But it's really been the starts of games that has concerned Coach Tori Verdi.
It has. If it's not turnovers, it's not being able to knock shots down.
So that minus 52 scoring margin in the first quarter. And Sydney Taylor is feeling it tonight. She's knocked down 2 triples. And number 15, Louisville, forces Coach Verdi to call a timeout early. A 12-0 run to start the game inside the Pitt. Coach Jeff Wall's liking what he's seeing. We'll be right back on the other side. ACC Women's College Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. You're seeing some snapshots of win number 1,000 for the program. Louisville becoming just the 4th ACC school to eclipse 1,000 wins against Duke a week ago. The only other ACC women's basketball programs with 1,000 wins, Notre Dame, NC State, and North Carolina, a huge milestone. But the game in and of itself was also a great sign for this season, because they were able to hold Duke to just 44 points. And we mentioned the 27 forced turnovers as well. And they're off to another good start here tonight, Jasmine.
They are. You know, earlier on in the season, Coach Walls challenged them defensively to, you know, be tougher and hold teams to a lower field goal percentage. And I feel like they're responding.
Shot off the mark. Pitt starting 0 for 3 from the floor. Meanwhile, Louisville 5 for 6. Sydney Taylor has already hit 2 of these tonight, and that one rims in and out, but an offensive rebound. Kick out, Kiki Jefferson comes up short with it, and Leah King brings in her 3rd rebound of the game.
Yeah, Louisville definitely getting a lot of good looks. You know, they are able to knock those down. They can keep this lead.
And that was denied. Nyla Harris not allowing the pass to even get into Leah King. That's the 4th turnover for the Panthers tonight. And Louisville will hand it right back.
Louisville has a lot of length. They're athletic, they're versatile, but they're playing with their arms out. They're taking up a lot of space. So a lot of these passes that usually probably get in for Pitt, they're going to have to use some pass fakes, kind of take some dribbles, draw some defense before making those passes.
Malcolm trying to drive baseline. That's the 5th turnover here in this first quarter. Has not been the start that Coach Tori Verdi would have liked to see.
And when they had that success against Notre Dame, kind of slowing the game down, it's when they stopped turning it over that they were able to do that. Turnovers just, you know, it's going to give a team like the Cardinals a chance to get some easy baskets in transition.
I imagine it's deflating, too, as a team. You're trying to find some momentum, some rhythm in the half court. You see Jasmine Timerson checking in, the freshman point guard. Coach Verdi says that he's impressed with her care and ball handling skills. Into the corner here, Timerson will try for 3 and connect. She had a really good game against Notre Dame a week ago, Jasmine, and you saw her on the floor, and she pokes that one out of bounds. Going to stay with the Cards.
Yeah, she makes an impact when she comes in off of the bench. She brings that energy, she brings some toughness, she can get to the basket, and here you see her showing that she can spread the floor and hit from the outside. That's a huge corner 3, and hopefully be able to open it up for Leah to get some touches in there.
Neither of these teams really great three-point shooting teams. Sydney Taylor, after hitting the first 2, has missed the next 2.
She's definitely capable, Sydney Taylor, of lighting it up from the outside. She's struggled lately, just really trying to find her rhythm. You know, she's in a different role. She's playing with a whole different personnel than she played with at UMass, so she's really trying to find her rhythm. But what I do like about Taylor is that she's been able to do some other things on the floor to make an impact. She's playing defense hard. She's buying in on that end. She's also assisting, getting her teammates involved. You know, the shots will fall. They will come.
Here's Taylor. Crossover into the backcourt. And that's a backcourt violation there. For all intents and purposes, this is a relatively new look Louisville team as well. Almost a complete roster overhaul for Coach Jeff Walz. All told, 11 players left the program. 6 due to graduation, 5 went to the portal. So he welcomed 8 newcomers to the team this year, including 6 transfers. You count Lily Love in that group, but she transferred over from Georgia Tech in the spring semester, so she's been around, but only 2 returning starters with Olivia Cochran and Nyla Harris. Aislinn Malcolm's 3 is no good. Offensive rebound. It's going to be a travel first, though. Leah King shuffled the feet.
I like her idea to try to get active on the boards, though. She hasn't gotten a good touch. Louisville's made it pretty hard for her down there with their activity. But crashing the offensive board would be a great way for her to get some points. And you see her there with a rejection on the other end. She's a great defender in that regard.
That's going to be a charge. That's exactly what Louisville did to Leah King here on this floor last year. They got her into foul trouble early. Picked up 4 fouls very early in the game. You see the feet set there for Kiki Jefferson. And Leah was essentially a non-factor in that loss last year. But that's an early first quarter foul for Leah King, the leading scorer, rebounder, and just about everything else. Jada Curry wide open lane. And she lays it up and in with a right. 16-3 is the score here in the first quarter.
And, you know, Leah King, not a player that shoots 3-pointers. She's really going to, you know, get inside that paint and bring the ball to you. So I imagine she has to be careful to pick up any more of those charges in this game.
That 3 is drilled. Bella Perkins, the transfer from USC. She played her first 2 seasons, averaging 8 points per game, and she just had a shoulder wrap that was taken off, so it might be a little bit freer on the shot. Now Perkins looking to push 1-on-2. She'll stop just short of the three-point line. Too strong. Offensive rebound and a foul. Rappalucci Iodell through the contact. Goes against Kiki Jefferson, her first.
And Perkins is definitely a player that can come in and have an impact and really shoot it from the three-point line. But it's got to be a fine line between taking good threes and making them and also taking quick shots and giving the ball right back to the Cardinals.
So Rappalucci Iodell, the junior NJC AA second-team All-American last year. Well, coming up next, we'll send you over to Blacksburg. Liz Kitley and the 11th-ranked Virginia Tech Hokies hosting Miami tonight. Jen Hiltreth, Kelly Gramlich will be on the call for that. Good night of hoops here on the ACC network. Pitt has cut the deficit in half here as Louisville has gone a little bit cold from the floor. After that hot start from Sydney Taylor, she drilled 2 threes in the opening 4 minutes of the game. Cochran, a long two, too strong. There's Iodell with the rebound.
Still a good look at it, and you see Pitt has gotten out of that 2-3 zone where they weren't able to shut down that high post, and Louisville got a nice, comfortable start. Now they're man-to-man matching up.
That's Leah Tu King finding the basket. Leah Tu King, as we said, 20 points per game, 10 rebounds a game, and she's shooting at 56% from the floor. A backdoor cut here from Russell. She traveled. 7-0 run for Pitt. And this has kind of been the story. Slow start, and then they creep back into games and make things interesting.
Yeah, it's almost like the game has to settle in for them. And here you see Olivia Cochran go for the gamble, and it just gives Leah Tu King a wide-open look at the basket.
I'm sure if Coach Verdi had it his way, he would say, look, why don't we start a little bit quicker? Like, why do we make it hard on ourselves, right?
And you never know. You know, the lineup changes that they've seen throughout this season, his method for choosing, you know, who gets to be in the lineup, rewarding consistent toughness and hard, hard play and practice is how he gets his starting lineup. So some of that could maybe factor into how these starts go.
Timerson and Perkins have been a nice boost off the bench here. There's Perkins on the drive. Tough shot. No good. And Lily Love with the board. Louisville looking to push here. Jada Curry thought about the transition three. Jefferson on the floor. Bounce pass. Back out to Curry. Little triangle work here for Louisville. Elif Istanbuloglu knocked it out of bounds. Pitt basketball.
I think Kiki Jefferson being a little too unselfish there. I think she had herself a little jumper in the paint. She passed it down to her post player who got it inside and out. But, you know, Kiki Jefferson, a great scorer for this Cardinal team. Look to get some shots on goal.
Just one shot for Kiki Jefferson, the leading scorer tonight. Eight on the shot clock. Aislinn Malcolm gets to the free throw line. That might have been blocked a little bit. And it was saved. It was Iodell that knocked it off of Lily Love there. Basketball will stay underneath the hoop for Pittsburgh. Gabby Hutcherson has checked back into the game as well. One of the 4 returners to this Pitt team after the coaching change. Leah Tu King, that's a difficult shot there. There's Iodell again on the board. She has been a problem on the glass for Louisville here tonight.
That was a very difficult shot for King to take, but with the shot clock running down, she had to put it up. And good thing she did, because Iodell's a great rebounder, and she's active on that offensive glass. And there you see her just, with all her strength, go up and with the contact, get herself to the free throw line.
Like we said, an All-American at the junior college ranks last year for Iodell as she goes to the free throw line. Averages a double-double as a sophomore. 14 points a game and 14 rebounds as she hits the first free throw. It's always cool to see these basketball journeys, and in the age of the transfer portal and players moving around, Rappalucci Iodell has had a great story. You see some of it there, but over the course of the last couple of years, 3 junior colleges for Iodell before getting to realize her dream on the Division I level.
You see Louisville scoring really quickly after a made free throw by Pitt.
Almost looked like a set play there, like they were ready to run the breakout.
And it very well could be. A lot of teams do have a sideline break off of free throws.
Jada Curry with the steal behind the back, dishes it off to Taylor, back to Jefferson. That's teamwork right there for the Cards.
What a sequence that was. Jada Curry tiptoeing on the sideline, almost goes out of bounds, goes behind the back. And you see what, 3 players end up touching that? So pretty basketball right there.
It was about a 2.5-minute stretch where Louisville went without a field goal in this quarter, but lead back up to 9. That's a long 3 for Perkins. I think Jeff Walls in Louisville will take that. About a 5-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here, and Jada Curry will reset the offense. Timerson out on Curry. And a whistle, 3-second violation called on Easton Bulolu underneath the basket there.
Jada Curry in the passing lane gets the steal. She does actually go out of bounds, but then she gets it to Taylor, who finds Jefferson under the basket to finish the nice fast break.
9.2 to go here in the first quarter. Got to get a shot off here, and I don't think anybody for Pitt saw that the clock was winding down. Missed opportunity there.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in rebuild, it's a culture build too.
Right,
you know,
right.
Going from a losing to a winning mindset, believing that you can win, and buying into the steps that it takes to get there.
Right, that's well put. Ricard, short corner, and that rattles home. Nina Ricard's the grad transfer from Florida, averaging 7 points a game.
And she is money from mid-range. When she can get to those spots, she has great confidence, and she knocks those down.
All right, so how does Pitt get some offense going? You feel like you would have to get Leah King a little bit more involved, right?
You do, and you got to get her in space. I mean, the Cardinals are going to do a great job at crowding her and making it hard, using their length to get it to her. So she can get it in space, making kind of spread the floor and give her some lanes to either drive or get to her mid-range game. That would be good.
Whistle against Louisville there. Hutcherson will check out. Aislinn Malcolm will return. Sophomore from Carnegie, Pennsylvania. I mentioned Malcolm hit 5 threes in the loss to Georgia Tech on Sunday. And it's another tough shot, but a make for Erin Battle, the freshman from New Jersey. She's made a couple of baskets here tonight.
Erin Battle's had some great moments this season already. A young player in the ACC, a young player for Pitt, but definitely capable of having a huge impact.
And that's a turnover for Louisville. Miscommunication there between Taylor and Love.
Battle with a little misdirection, shimmy shake, and that's a tough contested elbow jumper that she gets to go in.
She dropped a season-high 17 points in the win over Lemoyne earlier this season. Scored over 1,000 points at Camden Catholic High School in New Jersey. So a couple of freshmen on the floor here with Timerson as well as Erin Battle. Jala Jordan hands it off. Timerson, 2-on-1. Nice dump off to Leah King. Everything there but the finish. And that whistle against Leah King. That's her second.
And that's a rare miss from Leah King. She's usually money from down there, but with that charge she picked up earlier, that frustration foul after the miss, just, not a smart play by her. But Jasmine Timerson has given some great minutes off the bench, being able to, bring energy, bring some execution. That's a great heads-up play to draw the defense and get a dump to Leah King, who they're still trying to get going in this game.
So King heads to the bench with 2 fouls. With her off the floor, Pitt will have to figure out who will be the go-to scorer. That's really good defense from Jala Jordan there, issuing the block on Easton Bulolu. You see there, 4.8 blocks this season, 7th in the ACC. They had 12 against Georgia Tech in the loss on Sunday. A lot of contact there.
And this will be some rare minutes for Pitt to not have their go-to player on the floor. to execute. You know, they can get a little deeper into their offenses, maybe make sure the ball is going from side to side, seeing how the Cardinals defend them without Leah 2 on the floor.
And again, we mentioned that this is kind of the same movie that we saw last year when Louisville got Leah 2 King into some foul trouble, and she wasn't really able to be much of a factor in the game. See how long she'll be on the bench here in the second quarter. If you're Tori Verdi, you don't want the game to get too far out of hand, so you can give yourself a shot in the second half. Here's Timerson, shot clock winding down, got to get a shot off. And that'll be a violation on Pitt.
Louisville not going to, you know, relieve that pressure. They're going to keep it on, if not even notch it up a bit, knowing that King isn't on the floor. So Pitt's going to have to find a way to be solid with the ball and really execute. Keep taking their time getting down to the end of the shot clock, which you're noticing. They're getting down to late clock a lot, and that's by design. But yeah, they're going to have to get something going on the offensive end.
Here's Curry. Drives into traffic, hand in the face there. Washinet's affected the shot, and she ends up with the loose ball. Malcolm quickly up the floor. Battle, step back three. Off the front rim. There's Iredell on the offensive glass again. And a scrum for the ball, jump ball. Possession arrow to the Cards. Pitt just shooting 22% from the floor here in the first half. 4 for 18. And when you add on the 10 turnovers as well, consider where the score is at. I mean, could be a lot worse.
It definitely could be. You know, and I think they could lock in here defensively and just, you know, maybe try to be a little bit more disruptive.
Washinet's whistled for the bump there. Coach Verdi having some words with the official. First foul on Marley Washinet's. Olivia Cochran back into the game as well. Curry gets open for three. It's a little bit strong, and Cochran on the offensive rebound.
Curry, a great scorer coming from Cal over to Louisville. She had a fantastic game against Miami where I really felt like she looked the most like herself.
It's another deflection there. Nina Ricard's shot altered.
Louisville switching a lot on ball screens and really making it tough for Pitt to get any advantage out of their ball screen action.
So Lily Love will head to the bench. Nyla Harris back into the game. Curry will follow, and Kiki Jefferson will sub for her. Louisville started this game, remember, 14-0 was the score, and a whistle for a timeout by Coach Verdi to pause. And since then, it's been an 8-13 run. And that one is buried. Jala Jordan, the transfer from Seton Hall.
And that one had to go in. She made that one at the end of the shot clock that didn't count, so that was her little warm-up shot for that three. And it would be nice for Pitt to get some more of that. Hopefully she can heat up in this quarter.
And now Louisville is having some problems with the turnovers. It's their 6th of the game.
And Coach Walls has his starters back in now. He saw some subs to put his starting 5 back on the floor, maybe to take some momentum going into halftime. But like you said, now they're turning it over.
Jordan in and out, and a foul underneath the basket going against Iredell. Louisville 0 for the last 4. And nearly another turnover as the Cards ends up with it. Pittsburgh only down by 6. Sydney Taylor fading away. Leaves it short. There's Cochran, and one.
And that's what she does. She is the toughness factor for this Louisville team. When they need it, she gets an offensive rebound to give her team some momentum after they've been cold. We have a good one here in Pittsburgh coming back after the break.
Welcome back. Number 15, Louisville, 24-16 lead over Pitt. Here's kind of the storyline tonight. Louisville shooting at 46%, 11 points off turnovers. Meanwhile, Pitt just 24% from the floor. And the points in the paint are one of the biggest differences in this game, Jasmine.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, given how the game has gone, you would expect the Cardinals to be up a lot more than they are right now. But, you know, we talked a little bit about them having that success early on in the game against that Pitt zone where they were able to find success in the high post. Either they were scoring it or once the defense collapsed, they were getting open for those threes. And now lately, they are settling for some outside shots, and Pitt made that adjustment to go man-to-man.
So Olivia Cochran at the free throw line to try and convert the and one opportunity, and she does. So a three-point play there for Cochran. 12 points per game, 6 rebounds a game. She scored 10 or more points in each of the last 7. She's been a huge piece to this Louisville team, deciding to return for her senior season this year.
She really has, and there you see her just applying that pressure, getting out in that hedge, turned into a trap, and they come away with the steal. Woo.
There's her cards, and she lost the footing there, but the effort on the defensive end was there. That hedge from Olivia Cochran all the way out to the half-court line was impressive.
Yeah, you couldn't even – it was so aggressive. You couldn't tell if it was a trap or a hedge. Right. And I feel like Sydney Taylor was like, I'm just going to stay with it. Some good came out of it for sure, but they couldn't turn it into 2 points on the other end, which they're going to need to do.
Ricard's a great defender, and that time might have reached.
You see Cochran getting ready for it. You can see it. She's just using her length and athleticism, staying low in a stance, comes up with the steal. Her teammate does. Sydney Taylor picks up the steal, and you get Cochran, you're forward, running the break. Nice little bounce pass, but Nina just couldn't hold on to it.
Talk about forcing the turnovers. It's those types of plays. As battled, tough shot, and Ricard's kind of stepped out of bounds there. And everybody coming back for Pitt here. Jada Curry back into the game for Nina Rickards. Pitt will make a couple of substitutions as well. Leah King back out on the floor with 2 fouls. Again, the leading scorer, leading rebounder, does everything for this team, has been held in check tonight. Just 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting from the field. Quick whistle here the last couple of offensive possessions for Pitt. That foul against Sydney Taylor. And Pittsburgh in the bonus now, so they'll be shooting the rest of the way. Marley Washenitz will go to the free throw line. Washenitz, 67% free throw shooter, hits the first.
Get to the free throw line could be a good way for Pitt to supplement some offense and get some points on the board.
And she makes them both. Marissa Russell, a senior from Ottawa, Ontario, will check into the game. She had a good game against Duke. 10 points, 2 steals, 2 boards.
And she had a good game against Miami as well. Last 2 games, she's been great coming off the bench for them, providing a spark, shooting it well from the 3-point line.
A little bit more size out there for Louisville now, and well read, Leah King almost intercepted the pass. Will stay with Louisville with 11 on the shot clock.
Jada Curry had her mind made up that she was going to pass it in there and just left her hands, and Pitt almost came up with a steal.
Harris, no good. The body's on the floor, jump ball, and it will be Pitt basketball. To their credit, Pittsburgh has kept this close after Louisville started out the game on a 14-0 run.
And I think if you're Coach Walls, you get a little bit frustrated with that because a team like Pitt that does play confidently at home, you get up big on them and then you let them stick around and you let them get back into the game. And they should have confidence that they can win, you know, because they're showing that even when they get down, even when things aren't going their way and they're not shooting it well, they can still stay in ball games. And you have big shots like that with Jala Jordan shooting it great from the three-point line, and you have yourself down 4. 3 minutes left to go in the half.
Jala Jordan, just her 7th made 3 of the season, but she is 2 for 2 from beyond the arc tonight. This is the closest that Pitt has come in this game. A 4-point deficit with 2 minutes and 47 seconds to go. Nyla Harris with the shot, no good. The mid-range is not going to work for Louisville, but you mentioned that Pitt has shifted some things on the defensive end.
They have. They've gone man-to-man, and they're kind of walling up around the paint, so they're making it hard for Louisville to really find their spots and get a rhythm. They're just kind of passing it around. And here you see in the pick and pop, Cochran stays too deep. Jala Jordan, who's a player that can shoot it from the three-point line, and just either miscommunication or a slip on the scout, and she knocks down the 3.
Pittsburgh certainly has the three-point shooters on this team to erase a deficit. Leah King under 3 to go, and she hits. Leah King knocks down her 2nd field goal of the game, and it is a 2-point basketball game.
What I love about a player like King is she's not going to stay quiet for too long, but she's also not going to force. She knows what she means to this team and that they need her to score, but she's going to try to take good, efficient shots.
Offensive rebound and a second chance for Sydney Taylor here off the miss from Curry. And Washington's extended the arm there.
Here you see King just attacking her defender's feet. There's 3 bodies around her, but the little hesitation opens it up, just that little window for her to get her shot off, and she knocks it down.
So how does Louisville find that rhythm again off of some of the changes that Pittsburgh has made on this side?
And they just got to execute better. And sometimes, you know, everybody has an offensive playbook, and you can't just call the play and run through the motions. They really need to set screens better, change their pace, play with a better tempo, and actually make reads. Don't just look for what the offense is designed to get them, and kind of find the mistakes that Pitt is making within their defense.
Jada Curry, a 70% free throw shooter, goes 1 for 2 at the line. So a 3-point game, minute 50 to go in the first half.
I also think the Cardinals can go at King. She's in foul trouble, you know. She had picked up those 2. I know it's just a minute and 40 left, but go back to getting the ball inside, maybe isolate her on the block.
Here's Leah King. Leaves it short.
It's a pretty move, though.
I will say, Pitt has taken much better care of the basketball, too, on the offensive side over the course of the second quarter. Olivia Cochran picks up her dribble, bounce pass, Lily Love. Can't finish, and Aislinn Malcolm ends up with it. A chance to tie the game for Pitt. Malcolm kicks it out. Perkins for the tie. No good. Nyla Harris, strong rebound.
That would have been a big 3 if Perkins was able to get that one to fall.
Russell, top of the key. Yes!
And Marissa Russell will make you pay for leaving her open at the 3-point line. She has been shooting it terrific from the 3.
It's her 12th made 3 of the season. Hasn't taken a ton, but shooting at 34% from long range. Lead back up to 6 for Louisville now. Perkins off the screen. Washington's in the corner, shot clock at 5. Washington's got to go here, drives baseline, and Washington's up with the left hand.
That scores a lot, but I love that decision to not settle for an outside contested shot and put pressure on the Cardinal defense and get to the rim.
7 seconds to go in the first half here. Louisville looking to extend their lead going into the locker room. Jada Curry. Off balance shot, and she hits it at the buzzer. Jada Curry was 1 for 5 in the first half. Just kind of a sigh of relief.
Louisville on the free throw line. Part of the reason why this lead isn't as big as it is because they don't have their usual points that they do get from the line.
There's a takeaway there. Washington ends up with it. That's the 9th turnover for Louisville. A team who notoriously has taken really good care of the basketball this year, as Aislinn Malcolm thought about the 3. Jala Jordan is red hot tonight. That's her third make from downtown.
It is, and you can just see the confidence. You can tell that her team expects her to shoot it. It's been told for her to let it fly, and she is doing that well tonight.
Again, came into this game with just 6 made threes on the year. She's already made 3 tonight. Cochran just inside the arc. No good, and a rebound for Harris. She lost it. Ends in the hands of Ricards. Cochran gets it right back, driving down the lane, gets fouled, just couldn't finish. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Malcolm in the ball screen with King, and she just tosses it back to Jala Jordan, who just remains hot, carrying it over in the first half.
You think Jeff Wall said anything about her as a shooter in the locker room, or is he playing numbers here? Because she hasn't really made a ton of threes this year. Was he telling his team, we got to get out and guard her?
You know, I would think not.
Yeah.
You know, I think definitely mention it. Maybe not leave her, you know, when you say butt naked wide open at the 3, so probably get some form of contest, but you're probably going to live with her shooting those threes in this game.
Cochran in and out on the second. They're in battle with the rebound. Some more full court pressure here. Malcolm, baseline, kicks to Jordan at the ACC logo. And Jala Jordan cannot miss tonight. She is 4 for 5 from the floor and has a game-leading 11 points.
And you know how that goes. You start seeing the ball go in, you get that confidence, and then it's like you can't miss. And they definitely need to keep feeding her the ball and, you know, just roll with it, taking a little bit of pressure off the King if Jala Jordan is able to score.
Taylor misses the rim on the 3, and she has gone cold after starting 2 for 2 from three-point land. Has missed the next 4 threes that she has taken.
I want to go back to that last play where Cochran got to the line off of catching the ball at the high post. I think the Cardinals need to focus a little bit more on executing, screening, off the ball, on the ball, but also that free throw line success that they've been able to have today.
Back down to a 3-point lead for Louisville. Jada Curry hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer to end the second quarter. Washington's turned it over there. What, a 5-second call? Is that what that was? We don't see those too many. We don't see those too often, I should say.
And we talked about this being, you know, part of the game plan for Pitt, to be able to play in the half court, get teams to execute. And when they, you know, Kiki Jefferson has actually been quiet tonight, but when they struggle offensively in that quarter court, they're able to come down and find success on offense. And that's why they find themselves in just a 3-point game.
Third foul on Marley Washington's here. Pitt has had 3 chances to tie this basketball game, but they've come up empty-handed in all 3 opportunities. Taylor open for 3. Again, can't hit. Whistle underneath the basket. It's going to stay here.
You see her a little frustrated because she's definitely getting some good looks, just not able to get them to fall consistently.
That is a huge, huge third foul on Leah King. Also the third team foul as Cochran, 3-second call. Looked like it was going to be a travel call, but instead a 3-second violation. Coach Jeff Walsh is asking for some clarification from the referee.
I'm not sure about that
one. We play on. So far, just 6 points scored in this third quarter from both teams combined. Louisville, just one of those 6. Nyla Harris shaken up on the play there. She's whistled for the foul. And Washington's able to recover there, nearly turned it into the hands of Cochran. And now does turn it over. Third turnover for Marley Washington's here in this game.
Washington needs to recognize what they're doing on the ball screen. They just switched that last play with King and the ball screen, and if she keeps her dribble, maybe she can isolate King on the block down low against a smaller defender.
Jada Curry starting to feel it now. Hit one at the buzzer to end the second quarter and drilled one there. It's 36-30 now. Curry's got 9 points in the game.
She's definitely a player that can heat up and score in bunches for the Cardinals, and with them kind of having this offensive struggle, she should definitely look to be more aggressive.
Malcolm, a little hesitation. That three is well off the mark. And she hit 5 threes against Georgia Tech on Sunday. It's been a bit hot and cold this year. Pitt fans asking for a travel there. Instead, it will be a whistle and a foul underneath the basket. I believe that's Leah King again. So that's going to be number 4 on Leah King.
And that's really unfortunate, because she's definitely a player that needs to be on the floor, and with a foul that early, she's going to have to sit for quite a while.
Got her on the reach in there, yeah.
Probably should have let that one go.
Kiki Jefferson will try from distance. No good in the rebound there for Rappalucci Iodell.
Jefferson has been really quiet today. She's a leading scorer for the Cardinals and really hasn't found herself in a rhythm today.
Offensive foul. That's against Bella Perkins as she left her feet. Got caught in midair there, and Harris absorbed the contact. Kiki Jefferson, just 2 points, 1 for 4 from the floor. Hasn't really been able to find a rhythm tonight. Curry off the screen. Harris down the lane. Jordan with the rebound.
And Pitt's still doing a good job of making Louisville take tough, contested shots and then just rebounding and going on the other end. They haven't been able to respond and score it at a high clip, but they're doing some good things defensively just by being solid.
Perkins gets to the elbow. Almost rattles home, but Cochran reels it in, and a careless pass up the floor. Will hand it right back to Pittsburgh. That's turnover number 11 for Louisville tonight.
Maybe a combination of two things. It was a really strong, long outlet, but I feel like she was leading Taylor for the break. So if Taylor would have run hard and kept going, she could have ran right into that pass and kind of got some momentum going into the offensive end.
There's Jasmine Timerson. Had a really good first half for Pitt. Kind of came in and settled things down when it was 14-0 in advantage of the Cards.
Perkins, you know, ball dominant right now, really just dribbling it in one spot.
There's Cochran again.
Yeah, and then she just passes to Malcolm for the bailout. The difference between Malcolm's shots this game versus last game is against Georgia Tech, they were by design. You know, Leah was getting doubled down low and she was kicking it out and she was finding Malcolm for some open shots. And then today, it's more so just settling.
Blocking foul against Timerson, called on the floor, so the shot will not count. 36-30. Pitt's been hanging around, thanks in large part to Jala Jordan tonight, Jasmine.
Yeah, she's been terrific shooting the ball from behind the arc, and she really has been a key piece to keeping this Pitt ball team in the game. They are down by 6 with 4:30 left to play in the third.
With no feet.
And we're back. You're getting a shot at Leah King there, who is on the bench with 4 fouls. She has scored 4 points in this game, but she is the engine that makes this team go, Jasmine. It's been pretty amazing watching Leah grow over the last 3 seasons, but really year over year. I mean, it is incredible what she is doing, the numbers that she's putting up, and just the sheer load that she carries for this team. It's a lot of pressure.
Absolutely, and she's done a terrific job up to this point. She's just, you know, having an off night tonight. It happens, and she has some of her teammates picking up that slack. Jala Jordan having a great game, but just the season that King is having has honestly been phenomenal. She's been carrying this team on her shoulders. As you see her numbers right there, she ranks in multiple categories in the top 5 in the ACC. She's just been a fun player to watch, and she finds herself in a little bit of foul trouble today, so it's kind of been a choppy game for her.
So Sydney Taylor at the free throw line now. And one of the better free throw shooters on this team. This is a great free throw shooting team. They get to the free throw line quite a bit. Taylor makes them both. Back to an 8-point lead, but just kind of finishing the conversation on Leah too and what she's meant to this team. Her presence was made known very early on. I mean, the first 10 games, she had 7 double-doubles.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty crazy.
It is, and you know, a lot of that is confidence. You know, Coach Verdi came into this season letting her know that she was the go-to player, and she has embraced that role with, you know, just so much grace, and she's just, you know, having a terrific season. It's no better way to put it. I wish there was more conversation around the type of season she's having. She needs to be in more conversations when you're talking about postseason awards, because she's definitely most improved. And, you know, I think she has herself up there for some other awards as well. She's been great on the defensive end. She had 6 blocks in their last game against Georgia Tech. She gets 2 steals a game. You know, Leah King is just a very, very talented player.
That's a travel there on Aislinn Malcolm. But look, you give Leah credit. In the age of the transfer portal and, you know, coaching change here at Pitt, Leah King decided to stay and be a part of this foundation for Coach Tori Verdi and the Panthers.
And you need some of that. You need players to stick around, kind of the same with like Cochran on Louisville, and, you know, show what the culture can be like, what the mindset is, what the toughness and the consistency has to be. They kind of set the tone at that level and what the expectation is every night.
Olivia Cochran from the mid-range. Nothing but net there for Cochran, who's now in double figures once again.
Yeah. And I also have to say credit to this Louisville team with their defense with King. You know, it hasn't quite been one-on-one. It's been everybody by committee being locked into the type of player that she is and making it tough for her.
9-0 run for Louisville, forces a timeout for Pitt and Coach Verdi. Lead back up to 12 as Louisville has come out of the break, firing on all cylinders once again with 3.5 left to go in the third.
And we're back here with Louisville at Pitt. And here you see Louisville doing a little bit of it all by committee. Balanced scoring. Cochran with the jumper. You saw Jada Curry with the 3 from outside. Lily Love finds Harris for the lay-in at the rim. You know, they found themselves with a little bit more of an offensive flow here, and they're on a 9-0 run right now.
Yeah, they are. And Louisville has kind of been this style of play for quite a while. They haven't really relied on one player to get all of the scoring. And you know, this year they have 2 players averaging over 10 points a game, but they also have 8 players averaging over 5.5 points per game. So it's kind of been by committee this year as Aislinn Malcolm ends the 9-0 run with a left-handed layup, and they need her to get going after the start that she has had to this game. Gets her first field goal tonight.
They do. And you know, it's been a conversation all season, the experience of this Louisville Cardinal team. They've been, you know, anybody has been in this moment before. They're able to, any given night, if it's somebody's night over someone else's, it doesn't affect the next game. They come out every game and they stay focused on playing as a team and being able to sacrifice some of their shot attempts for the next person because they're just a talented, experienced team.
Jala Jordan, her first miss from long range tonight. She was a perfect 3 for 3 before that miss.
And you saw that contest was a lot closer in that one. They realized what she's been able to do tonight, and Louisville understanding that they're going to have to get a hand up with her.
Still 4 for 6 from the floor for Jala Jordan. Taylor steps into a 15-foot jumper. Sydney Taylor, fresh off an A-10 All-Conference first-team nod last year with Coach Tori Verdi on the sideline for Pitt. Aislinn Malcolm off to Jordan. Into the corner for Perkins. Shot clock at 4. Perkins into the paint. Tough shot. There's Iodell, able to reel it in.
Good job by Iodell to just keep that alive and gets her teammate an opportunity now to get some points at the free throw line.
Hard foul on Sydney Taylor. And Aislinn Malcolm will head to the stripe. A couple of substitutions for the Cards. Marissa Russell and Elif Istanbuloglu will check back into the game. Malcolm, an 80% free throw shooter, and she makes the first. Here's Saturday's basketball triple header for you. Number 21, Clemson hosting Boston College at Littlejohn to start us off 3 Eastern time. Then 11th ranked Duke Blue Devils have really turned a corner here as of late. Host Georgia Tech at Cameron Indoor. Finally, Miami and Virginia Tech squaring off in Blacksburg. Should be a great afternoon and evening of hoops here on the ACC network. So 1 of 2 at the free throw line from Malcolm as Russell, nice feed off to Istanbuloglu.
That was a great pass.
Excellent vision. Marissa Russell, a member of the Canadian national team, helped them to take home the bronze medal this summer in the 2023 FIBA Women's America Cup.
And really showing that she's versatile. She can do a little bit of everything. She's shown over the last few games that she can shoot the 3, and that was just a nice heads-up play.
How about Malcolm with the handles there, spinning in the paint and finishing with the left hand. Kind of feel like Coach Verdi was like, hey, Ace, we need you to get going here.
Yeah, probably fired her up in a timeout. She's having a good response and just being more patient and taking the shot that she wants to get instead of settling for what Louisville gives her.
Washenitz takes the charge. Coach Walls fired up at it. Lily Love whistled for the contact.
Washenitz actually very, very good at taking charges. Coach Verdi harps on this team to take charges. He just loves it. I believe she leads the team in charges taken on the season. Lily Love, just aggressive, gets down that left lane line, kind of goes into Washenitz with that shoulder. She takes it on the chest and draws the charge.
45 to go in the third quarter here. Still a double-digit lead for Louisville. Washenitz gets it back, under 10 on the shot clock.
If I were Pitt, I would still keep putting Jala Jordan in every ball screen.
There's Iodell. Count the basket and the foul.
And that is a great play. She kind of slips out of that and gets to the rim and is able to finish and get to the line. Washenitz holding it, putting the Louisville defense in kind of a indecisive position, and it's a great finish by Iodell at the rim.
The shot clock winding down too. That has been a thorn in the side of Louisville and Jeff Walls this year, is defending the entire 30 seconds of the shot clock. We've heard Coach Walls talk about that in his press conferences this year, and that is a prime example there. Pitt was able to make something out of nothing.
And I'm going to have to take that back. I said they should put Jala Jordan in every ball screen because of the success she's having shooting the ball. But that was a great read to understand that Louisville might be switching. So Iodell slips out of that and finds herself with a great pass from Washenitz to finish.
Off the flare screen, Jefferson. Jefferson on battle, and Jefferson wins the battle. And we'll go to the free throw line with 2.5 to go in the quarter. It's just good, hard basketball on both sides.
Jefferson, an excellent free throw shooter. Having such a quiet night, you could probably think in this fourth quarter, get herself to the line a little more. She's shooting 91% on the season from the line.
Third foul on Rappalucci Iodell. Kiki Jefferson, 91% free throw shooter this season. Grad transfer from JMU. She was the Sun Belt Player of the Year last year. Certainly left her mark on the JMU program. Departed Harrisonburg, Virginia as one of the most accomplished players ever in program history. Washenitz comes up short, and it will be a 10-point ball game as we go to the floor.
Job so far. With her on the bench, they are just down 3 in this quarter, even though it's a 10-point deficit. So I'd say just look how the momentum goes and see when he needs to get it back in there.
That's a moving screen there. Goes against Iodell, and that's her 4th. So some of the front court players in some foul trouble for Pitt here. 4 fouls on Iodell and 4 on Leah King. That's another whistle. It's going to go against Washenitz, and I believe that's her fourth. Second team foul. So you got 3 players for Pittsburgh with 4 personal fouls.
And, you know, sometimes as a guard, it's hard when you're guarding bigger players. You know you want to bump them. You don't want to get face cut, but sometimes you can do it more with the hands instead of the body. And I think Washenitz just used her hands a little bit too much.
You see the graphic there. There's some of the foul trouble for the Panthers. Istanbuloglu, top of the key for a 3, and Elif Istanbuloglu hits her first 3 of the season.
You can tell it's her first 3. Look how hyped they were on the bench for her when she hit that.
She was 0 for 11 prior to that make. That ball knocked away, interior pass. Could not get to the intended receiver. Here's Curry. Out to Jefferson. And Jefferson on the move. Lays it up and in with the right. Kiki Jefferson. Now with 6 points. This is the largest lead of the game for the Cards. And a timeout for Coach Tori Verdi and company, as Louisville has gone on a bit of a run. Largest lead of the game. It is 53-38, Jess.
It is. And you see Jada Curry just stop with 2 feet, find Elif Istanbuloglu at the top of the key, who just drains her first 3 of the season. And Louisville is up 53-38 right now in this 4th quarter.
ACC Women's College Basketball is presented by Ally. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally. Well, it's been back and forth here inside the Pitt. Louisville with a commanding lead, though, as we head into the 4th, 53-38. They've gotten a variety of players going in this one. Sydney Taylor with 10 points, as well as Olivia Cochran, the only 2 players in double figures, but been able to get a 3 out of Istanbuloglu, her first of the season. Kiki Jefferson has gotten more involved as well as the game has progressed. 3 players with 4 personal fouls for Pitt as well. Marley Washenitz with 4, Ayodele with 4, and Leah King back on the floor with 4 personal fouls. So all 3 players in foul trouble on the floor right now for Pitt. Crucial time of the game.
And significant players. Washenitz has done a good job settling Pitt in this second half. And you see Bella Perkins get a little mid-range floater to fall for her. But, you know, King, obviously you know her significance on this team. And then Ayodele's done a great job on the board.
Kiki Jefferson adjusts in midair to make that basket. Again, leading scorer for this team, averaging 12.5 points per game. She's now at 8 here tonight.
With the emphatic celebration after,
yes,
too. You know, she's been quiet. She hasn't forced it, and I love that. She just let the game come to her. It's late in the 4th, but, hey, now is a good time as any for her to heat up.
Jocelyn Malcolm turns it over right into the hands of Nina Ricards, who's got a couple of steals tonight. That's been pretty par for the course for Ricards. And there's Jefferson again, staring down her own bench.
I don't know. Somebody must have said something to her. This is a different player than we've seen earlier in the game today, but definitely this is what we're used to seeing from Kiki Jefferson.
She's averaging nearly 15 points a game over the last 10. Here's Bella Perkins, in and out. Knocked out of bounds. That's a foul against Ayodele, and that will be her 5th.
Kiki Jefferson catching it around that high post area where Louisville has found success today all game, and just finishes with the contact. She screams for the and one. I guess it maybe could have been, but I like them not giving that one to Leah too. But you see Ayodele go out with her 5th foul right there, chasing down the loose ball.
I'm curious, Jazz, we talk about the style for Louisville and how they really like to share the basketball. Everybody needs to get their touches. Have you played on a team like this where there wasn't really one go-to scorer?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like in the early years of my time at the Connecticut Sun, when we were kind of in a rebuild and we had some great pieces, some young pieces. You know, we had Alyssa Thomas, John Paul Jones, Courtney Williams, myself, and, you know, we just had a lot of pieces that were emerging.
Yeah.
And I think that's absolutely how we played. We were gritty and tough defensively. We like to get out in transition. And we just played an offense where we executed well, and wherever our best shot was, that's what we executed to.
Did it take time for you guys to find your roles on that team, or was it something that just kind of came naturally? I mean, we've talked about the importance of a coach, Jeff Walls, we see him on the screen now, trying to make it clear to some of his players, Sydney Taylor of the likes, and Kiki Jefferson, what their roles are on this team.
Yeah, you definitely settle into roles. I think the common goal of wanting to win and doing whatever it takes, being selfless for your teammates to accomplish that goal is the first thing. But other than that, you definitely have your MVPs and your all-stars that emerge.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say Alyssa Thomas has certainly emerged as one of those all-stars, a triple-double.
Absolutely.
Walking triple-double. You see Kiki Jefferson getting some work there on the bench.
Yeah, John Cole Jones ended up being a league MVP. MVP of the Commissioner's Cup as well. Courtney Williams ended up being an all-star. I was an all-star. It comes together. It takes time, but it does come together.
Nyla Harris now with 6 points on the night. Point being, you can be an all-star even if you're not necessarily the main scorer on your team, or certainly can evolve to become one. I think it's a good lesson.
Yeah, it is for sure. And when you have a team like Louisville where you have people coming from different programs where they were the absolute go-to, getting all the touches, taking whatever shots they want, doing great things with them, like a Sydney Taylor, but you come to this team and your opportunities just look different. There's maybe more pressure on making the ones that you get.
Right.
And so it does take some time to kind of settle into what that new role looks like.
That's a blocking foul called against Hutcherson. An incredibly strong take for Nyla Harris.
What I notice from the Cardinals right now, and I don't know about you, but is putting their head down and getting to the rim. Here you see Harris really just determined to get to the basket. She finishes with the obvious contact. Hutcherson just doesn't get set. She is, in a good position to take that. Needed to be a little bit quicker to get her feet set. But I love what Louisville is doing here at the end of the game, just asserting themselves. And that they're determined to get to the rim and get to the line, which they hadn't done earlier in the game.
Yeah, they were settling for some jump shots early in the game, no question. Now on a 6-0 run. Taylor drills the three, and a timeout called by Jeff Walls after Sydney Taylor hits her third three of the night, extends the lead to 24 points. It is 64-40.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and get access to over 1,300 airport lounges. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
KFC's 2 for $5 wraps now has 5 flavors. There's classic, spicy slaw, new honey barbecue, new mac and cheese, and new spicy mac and cheese. The choice is yours. Plus, add a free wrap in the KFC app. It's finger-licking good.
64-40 is our score. 5:14 left to go in this game. An 11-0 run by the Cardinals. And to your point, Jasmine, too, after the short break, they really have just gotten into the paint. The disparity in the points in the paint in this game is quite vast. It's 30 points in the paint for Louisville versus 14 for Pitt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the determination. Like we saw Kiki Jefferson really get hot, and by getting herself to the rim, being aggressive, putting her head down. And you see, Harris also got to the rim, put her head down. And then that inside game opens up the three for Sydney Taylor to knock down.
Foul against Easton Balolu on the inbounds there. We play on. Louisville is in the bonus, so they will be shooting the rest of the way. Just 2 team fouls on the Cardinals here in this quarter. Shot clock down to 5. Leah Tu King with the ball, double team coming. Feeds it to Washington. It's able to get a shot off, but leaves it short. Lily Love slows it up, only to hand it off to Ricards, who lays it up and in with the right. Cards. That was 6 points tonight.
Louisville's been great at that all game and all season. You know, they are going to get stops on the defensive end and turn that into points in transition quickly.
Nice fake there for Louisville King to get open for her jump shot. Again, hasn't really been her night, been in foul trouble with 4 fouls ever since the 6-minute mark of the third quarter.
It hasn't. And you talk about the point disparity in the paint. Louisville King is usually that person for Pitt to score in the paint. She just hasn't been able to do that tonight. And while they have had some players open it up from the three-point line, that adds to that disparity.
Lily Love hits her first bucket of the game. So Leah King whistled for the foul. That'll be number 5 for her. So she has fouled out, as has Rapalucci Iodell.
They still have her. Some confusion here. Because Leah is inbounding the ball right now.
Okay, so a little confusion on who the foul was on. It actually was on Nyla Harris for Louisville. So Leah will stay in the game.
A little bit of a bailout for Hutchinson right there, but if she's going to get pressured like that, she is a versatile player for this Pitt team. She can put the ball on the floor, kind of attack that pressure a little bit to get them off of her.
Alexis Mobley has checked into the game for Louisville. Leah King wrapped up in sea of red jerseys, out of bounds, Louisville basketball. Annie Van Schaik as well in the 3 for Louisville has entered. Cards hits from the elbow.
Their sweet spot.
That is.
Right in that mid-range.
A lot of different players getting into the scoring column tonight for Louisville. Poked out of bounds. Last touch by Russell as Coach Verdi just pounds the ball onto the floor, handing it to the ref. As with any rebuild, there is bound to be growing pains. And this Pittsburgh program with Coach Verdi at the helm is experiencing some of that this season. But all indications point to him being a program builder and being able to get Pitt back to a basketball program that the fans can be proud of here. Haven't made the NCAA tournament since 2015.
They should definitely be proud. The way that they're playing, how hard they're playing, how together they're playing. They're doing a lot of good things. There's obviously some areas of improvement, but that's the nature of the game. Even the best teams are still improving.
A spin move from Hutcherson there. She's been quiet tonight. Second-year transfer from Ohio State, averaging 4 points per game. It's her first made field goal tonight. We get under 2 minutes here. Jasmine, we've seen Louisville a couple of times now. We called their game against Washington. And Schaik off the mark there. Lily Love follows it up. But this team is so deep, and it feels like they just have combo guards everywhere. I mean, the ceiling for this team is pretty scary if you look at it, because they can really hurt you in a variety of different ways. But what do you think the outlook of Louisville is this year?
I think, like you said, ceiling is high. They have a ton of versatility. I mean, even Olivia Cochran, who is, the force down low, she can get a rebound and lead the break. She's great off the bounce. So, as long as they can, obviously stay healthy, keep getting more consistent, keep that energy and intensity on the defensive end, and, as their players keep coming into their own and their roles and scoring the basketball. They're obviously a great team, and it's going to be exciting to see how things play out at the top of the ACC.
We saw Pitt's upcoming schedule. You and I will be on the call for their game against Boston College this upcoming weekend up in the Heights in Chestnut Hill. Lily Love whistled for the foul there.
Great opportunity to see how Pitt takes this show on the road. We've talked about where they've been able to be successful at home and, controlling tempo, having confidence, and doing some good things, but still have their struggles. So it's not easy to play at BC and, have a chance for them to still searching for that first win, and that'll be a good opportunity for them to perform on the road.
Hutcherson too strong. But again, we got more basketball coming up on the ACC network. Miami taking on Virginia Tech. And Coach Verdi had very high words to say. He thought they were a potential Final Four team this year. Kenny Brooks and company down there in Blacksburg. Excited to watch that one coming up next here on the network. Jen Hildreth and Kelly Gramlich will be on the call for that.
Yeah, Kitley and Amor, definitely fun duo to watch.
Yep, that's a dangerous duo there. Lily Love in the open floor.
Coach Walls has to be happy about this fourth quarter. In that fourth quarter against Duke, got a little loose with the ball, had some turnovers, and put on a solid, strong performance here in this fourth.
So a 30-point lead. Again, it was 10 at the half, and Pitt had made some headway, kind of cracking into the lead for Louisville, but towards the end of the third quarter, the start of the fourth, is when the game started to really break away. But another solid performance from Louisville, who will improve to 3-0 in ACC play. Pitt will look for their first conference win this weekend against Boston College. And that will do it. So a 74-44 win for Louisville. Jasmine, your final.